Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.
Yeah, this is the building downtown. I've been smoking and watching battles all day. I'm faded as fuck. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. You can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at The Building DT. Follow and subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all the places you get your podcasts from. I'm joined as usual by Kirill Kasatskiy and Amy Barton.
Yeah.
You can follow Kirill at Apostle Raps, Amy at Ames Bell, and you can follow me at J Kelly MMA. So,
Excuse me.
KOTD Grand Prix 2020. First round, first division up was the West. That went down today, September 20th, 2020. 4 battles happened. We kicked it off with Saynt versus RX. And then we had Thesaurus versus Madflex. And then we had Aktive versus Caustic. And then we had, I guess you call it the main event, Dizaster versus Frak. Starting at the top of the bill, Dizaster versus Frak. Who wants to kick this off?
I mean,
It's almost too bad that we had that conversation with Nameless before this fucking thing happened.
I know. Talking about judging. For those that missed it, we did a show with Nameless recently. If you know who Nameless, if you know who Nameless is, KOT, WRC spent a lot of his career in those promotions, and he's known as someone who has one of the best or at least a judging system in mind, not just fuck it, that guy won. So check that out if you're looking for a good topic, good conversation about judging.
Yo, just throw it over that
shameless plug. Wait a minute. Look it for at least this particular battle, because there's a whole lot to unpack here. Let's all of us give our thoughts independently, and then we can kind of go at it.
For those that don't know, Dizaster won the battle. These are all judged battles. Dizaster won the battle. I forget what was the final online fan vote.
76 to 24 or 78 to 22, some shit like that.
Yeah.
In what is it? Frank, not Frank.
Frak. Everybody thought, pretty much for the most part, that Frak won. But the judges for some reason gave it to Dizaster. So, thoughts on the battle? Obviously, going in, I'm thinking, fuck, Frak is truly an underdog, right? He even said afterwards he thought he was going to get smoked. That's a big task ahead of you, Dizaster. And after the first round, Kirill and I are looking at each other saying, he's up 1-0. Mm-hmm. And then the second round, we're like, is he fucking up 2-0 right now? It seems like that. And I think the third, you could give it to Dizaster. Frak's third was definitely the weakest of his 3. Those first 2, though, those were clean fucking 10-9 rounds. Clean.
Totally. And the second being the most prominent, but yes.
Yeah, but the judges gave it to Dizaster, and I don't know what kind of fuckery is going on there, but I saw people saying stuff like this shit was it was Dizaster's before the battle even started. It doesn't matter what would have happened, the judges would have gave it to him. I don't know how true that is. I don't know those guys in Dizaster's relationship. Right, I have no clue, so I can't speak on that. But fucking, how can you be a fan of battle raps, especially so deep to the point where you're a judge selected for a tournament with $50,000 on the line, and you fuck up that bad? That's the fucking what was it? Nameless said about Pat Stay versus Sharon, the biggest failing of judges he's ever seen in battle rap. Well, I don't know, man. There might be a new fucking contender here. Because that's a bad one. And you can't, people are shitting on Diz. You can't shit on Diz. He's not the judge. It's the judges, in my opinion, they fucked it up.
Well, no, Diz wasn't whack. But anyway, go on.
No, go ahead. Kick off your opinions. And Kirill's sitting over here itching to start screaming things.
Me too. But Kirill, you go.
I just think that the reason Dizaster won that is because they need a superstar number 1. You know what I mean? And that's very fucking, not that it's shameful or nothing, but it's I'm trying to look for a word, but it's the whole point
it may not be shameful, that's kind of strong, but it is
not shameful. That's what I mean. I'm looking for the right word. That's why I said it right away. It's not the right word, but the whole point of having tournaments like this is for a guy like Dizaster to come in all cocky and not 100% ready, and for a guy to like Frak to just come in and fucking wreck it, which is exactly what happened.
Which nobody expected, but yes.
I think Dizaster could be better, And I think Frak brought fucking like 99% of his game that time. And fucking he did very well. And like Kelly said, first and second round, I would give it to Frak. And that's what I mean. I'm not fucking credible enough to be a judge and nothing like that, but just off of what I've seen and what I understand, and I do understand quite a bit, I would think. Fucking the third, I would even call it a draw. You know what I mean? But the first and second, I would think, I don't know, just from gimmick with the paper to rhymes and everything, man. Dizaster was your regular Dizaster. He just wrote generic shit. He wasn't bad, but it was just regular Dizaster. He did not expect to for his opponent to bring that.
No, Diz hard. Yeah.
You're spot
but that's
on.
what I mean. You know what I mean? He was just his regular Dizaster, right? But he could be a lot more creative and a lot more personal and a lot more. You know what I mean? He was just doing his regular thing, right? Which was shocking when Buddy brought his A game, and it was just like regular thing wouldn't work. He really had to sit there and fucking pick this guy apart. You know what I mean? So I think it was a close battle, but it was given to Dizaster. He fucking Thesaurus was awesome at the end when he said, "Whether I got the battle of the night, and you got the fucking almost or barely passed of the night."
Yeah, lucky to get through, barely get through, whatever. Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was on point though.
You know, it was really funny in that battle when Frak pulled out the graph, and he was looking about a graph. Dizaster slapped it out of his hand, and he said that I brought another one and pulled.
That's what I was talking about, the paper thing, right?
Wait, can I add on to that though?
Mm-hmm.
He had a third one in his shoe just in case.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He was saying that, yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion. I think it was close. I think Dizaster didn't expect that. I think Dizaster could be better, but he did not expect what Buddy brought. That's for sure.
I've seen better performances from Dizaster for sure.
But that's what I mean. He just thought that he's gonna breeze through.
It seemed like that.
He always thinks that though.
In a tournament format too.
But I bet if he was facing Thesaurus right off the hop, he would bring up something more than that he brought tonight.
I agree with you. I was just gonna say
you know
that
what I'm
actually.
saying?
Yeah, this is what he probably considered his gimme battle, right?
I mean, that plays into something I'm gonna say, but go on.
But yeah, it's like I'm not trying to speak for Dizaster saying he took Frak lightly, but looking at the bracket, looking at who's ahead of him, I would think that he probably thought, you know what, well, this will probably be my easiest challenge. Right, so because you got to come.
And ideally, ideally for them to show that they're really up for this fucking legit raw fucking battle style fucking, you know what I mean, thing. Dizaster should have got kicked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not hating or nothing. Like it's just, in my opinion, he got 2-1.
Yeah, he lost.
You know what I mean? And he lost only because he wasn't ready. He could have been a lot closer, or it could have been into his advantage because he has so much more experience or whatever. Because I'm not even familiar with the second guy, to be honest with you. I've seen him battle a couple of times, you know what I mean? But what happened tonight is
that fucks
disappointing.
That fucks Frak so bad, too. It's such a
setback. Buddy, he's got the people's champ, that's for sure. 78-22 or some shit.
He just had a great performance against Thesaurus back in, November? Town Business.
That was not a bad look for him. It's shitty that he got kicked out of a fucking tournament, but that was not a bad look for him. Even though he lost that one, it's not a bad look for him.
Yeah, I was even thinking to myself.
Everybody's gonna say the Dizaster won because he's Dizaster.
I was even thinking to myself, fucking before they announced the winner, the judges started explaining their scoring. That I was thinking, shit, it kind of sucks because Frak and Thesaurus just battled last November. And I was like, now we're gonna see them battle again, right? Because that's who Frak battled if he would have won.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, in less than a year, come up with new material because I friggin' the Christopher Columbus did. I stopped calling him Pete. His name's Thesaurus. All that shit. That was the perfect material and angle to come at Thesaurus with. So to try to create something better than that or as entertaining as that, as original as that. It's tough, especially with Thesaurus. It's had so many battles. It's hard to come up with something creative and new, right? What are you gonna do? Talk about his face? Right? It's fucking. It's been done so many times. I'd gladly watch it. I wouldn't complain, but that's like if you got something to complain about, that'd be it. That's not a whole lot to complain about.
The thing is, we're not making matchups. We're not making matchups. It's a Grand Prix.
Let's finish this thing though. Like, what do you think?
I'm gonna tell you what I think. First of all, I mean, look, there's a whole lot to say here, right? But it feels like and it felt like in the moment as well as after the fact, something that we say a lot more in MMA, right? Which is to be the champ, you got to beat the champ decisively. That's how that felt. The problem with that is Diz isn't the champ. And he may be like in some ways a people's champ. Like I know he is a battle rap giant. I know he's a fan favorite, but like that's how that felt, especially from the judging. And for Frak, that was a performance of a lifetime, frankly.
Right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I was tweeting when it was happening, we all expect Diz to win, right? And Diz is a perennial fan favorite, a perennial industry favorite, or industry, you know, community, culture, whatever favorite.
Well, he is Eminem's favorite battle rapper, right?
I know. But I find it super interesting, like what we were talking about a little bit ago, that the Twitch poll had Frak at like almost 80% and Diz at 20 whatever percent. And so it goes without saying, like we also talked about, the Frak's moment was the paper and all that. It's hilarious that he had a third one in his shoe. But at the end of the day, like there's so many things to say about, okay, you saw like Lush went, and this plays into it. Lush went live on Instagram like 30 minutes ago, and he went on ad nauseum about the fact that they're going to alter how the judges are doing their thing moving forward. They may even have different judges, and they may potentially be giving the fans a bigger voice in terms of the votes. I don't know if that part's good or bad, but he did push back against people complaining about people talking too long on the stream and just random things about the entire like event. But he was very quick to say about the judges, like they're all great judges, but I'm not saying they made the right decisions, and that there was judging criteria put forth to them prior to, including that they couldn't have ties, even though that did happen in this event. And that there was a whole lot of stuff that they're like looking at immediately and changing around before the next event. So look, I'm not a Diz fan personally. I don't hate him, but like I'm not a fan. But I always expect that he's going to win. I always expect that he's going to be the guy doing the thing and on the podcast and in the movie and winning the tournament, the Grand Prix, the whatever. We all expect that. But like I started this.
But do you think he won tonight, though?
No, and that's what I'm saying with my tangent that I started with, is that like it felt like this whole to be the champ, you got to beat the champ feeling, but he's not the champ. So I feel like that's a misguided feeling, but that's how it felt.
Do you think it's because he's gonna bring the views and clicks?
So I don't know. I tweeted this. My question is if you give it to Diz, is it because you believe he won? Is it because you want Diz and Thesaurus to happen? Or is it because you want / think he should win the whole thing? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one, but I feel like we're on that side.
There's also could be that I know he could do better, and today he didn't bring his A game, but we gotta pass him.
That's not right.
I know.
Do you think there's a difference too? There's no crowd reaction. You're in that room.
No,
right
because
Diz is
the king of crowd reaction.
Yeah, that's what I mean for the judge, for being a judge, though. You're just
no. I think that should help him because there's more concentration on what they're actually saying and what they're doing. Because everybody's perception of everything is different, right? So 10 people cut that thing, 20 people cut that thing and reacted. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then some people are just yelling because everybody else is yelling.
Yep. Fuck, do I ever know that?
Right. So fucking. I'm sure that fucking out of a crowd, they're going, ooh, right? You ask people what he's saying, they're gonna be like, oh, right? So I think it's as in the show point of view, it's worse. But for judges, it should be easier to judge. It's not easy to judge as is when then people fucking yelling, throwing you off. The punchline might have not been that good. It might have been simple, but everybody got it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, or some shit like that. But I think it should have been a plus to judges that there's less of a crowd there. Or maybe they felt more emasculated by Dizaster that there's nobody there and there's just fucking 20 people and him in the basement. You know what I mean?
Dizaster's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, he's always wearing ridiculous shit. There's no for that. Plus, too, what are the judges looking for, right? Frak had a lot of humor, a lot of funny angles and stuff like that, where Dizaster was, screaming about
even
killing
his third
round.
Was it in third round when he was talking about parallel reality?
I think so.
Right? Even that scheme was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe not the whole round, but the whole thing that you know what I mean about parallel reality was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking punch.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, we'll move on to the next one.
So fucking Dizaster moves on, and the battle's the winner of Thesaurus, and oh fuck, why am I blanking? Madflex, which was Thesaurus, as we said. What a fucking battle! I think that was probably battle of the night.
Nah, Dizaster and Frak gotta be the battle of the night.
No, because they both put on good performances. I think Frak had performance of the night, even though he lost, which is fucked up. But I think as far as tit for tat, going back and forth, and Thesaurus won 3-0. Well, I guess, according to the judges, which I don't disagree with, right? But they went back and forth. That was a good scrap.
No, I was with that. I was with that decision. Like, I wouldn't say that was like a body.
Thesaurus definitely won that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't like a body, but it was like a clear decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I gotta get over the last battle of the night. Come on to this one, man. But yeah, no, it was a good battle. Yeah, and
it's crazy too to see two heavy hitters like that up first, and then one of them's out. Thinking Madflex isn't going to be a part of this anymore, because that's how thick this tournament is, and strong and deep this tournament is. Where a guy like Madflex can't get out of the first round.
A guy like Dizaster barely made it.
Yeah, but if you're only gonna pull 8 guys and have 4 battles, like, what do you expect?
Yeah. Well, it depends too, right?
Well, it's 16 battles, right? 4 battles a weekend, but yeah, the whole tournament is gonna pull into
it. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. And you said people were complaining about motherfuckers talking so much, right? That's what I'm saying. They should have had somebody performing there. Even one of the battlers that's not battling. Some sort of cross promotion.
No, I have to say.
Maybe more of a show, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, but I'm not saying like whatever dead air or answering live stream questions for 30 minutes is right up my alley. It's not. But like, I think we can all agree, and by we all, I mean me and Jason, that like this was breakneck speed as far as pace. Like, if you had 4 battles, yes. Oh my god, if you had 4 battles, historically,
because there's no crowd,
it would be like a 6-hour fucking thing. And that's not to say we didn't pay for it, we didn't have it on, we didn't watch it, but like, oh my god, like this shit was like, whoa, wait, what? I can't even go take my dogs out. This shit's on again. This was unprecedented in terms of
but
pace.
That's good. It was more organized because there's less people to fucking organize. You know what I mean? No crowd, people don't get lost, people all there in one room, small room, you know?
Well, yeah, yes and no. A lot of the waiting around has historically been due to tech problems and people running late. So I don't think it really necessarily has anything to do with people being in the room. But in this case, for them, it was a big high five that it was not for a 4 battle event, a 6-hour thing, because it very easily could have been.
No, I'm just saying an overall opinion of mine. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I would like to see, instead of those fucking tracks playing and just having a banner there up there, you know what I mean? I would like to see some people perform out of the same crowd. You don't need to have mainstream people there.
I like the set. I like the venue, whatever the hell you want to call that. That was.
It was a warehouse of some sort because there was a big bay door that showed it for a second.
I thought it was a serial killer's basement when I first saw it.
Well, it's fucking. It's on the way there.
Definitely body parts in the deep freezer in that fucking. Right. What a creepy looking dungeon.
Whoa.
Couple of hooks in the kitchen knife away from a fucking.
We got to get back to the battles though. We got to talk about RX. We got to talk about Caustic.
Yeah, Aktive and Caustic.
That was a good one too, actually.
That was really good. What was the one line that stuck out? I even tweeted something about it. You're trying to turn this into a white and black thing. I want to turn this into a why can't you rap thing.
That was his one and only shining moment, though. And yeah, I'm not saying
took that one pretty handedly.
Like Aktive edged it out, but frankly, I felt like I agreed with what I was seeing people say on Twitter that like 2 rounds in, that was a 0-0 battle. Like that shit was a snoozer. And Caustic, I mean, I don't like Caustic myself. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. He should have that should have been a clear and easy win, in my opinion. And he just seemed like he didn't want to be there. Like he was just kind of distracted. He didn't have the cadence, whatever. But I do.
From what I understand, he was thinking it was going to be, like you said, it's going to be an easy one.
I would say Caustic would have been quite a big favorite going into that too. His experience compared to Actives, the guys he's battled compared to the guys.
This is going to be a good lesson for them
and for showing though.
I think it's going to be a good lesson for them and for everybody watching. Like, I don't mean to sound like a dick, but like, you know what I mean? You got to be ready no matter who you're battling.
Yeah, that's true too. It sets a pace right now. Like, hey, don't slip.
Because this barely made it and the fucking Caustic got kicked out because they weren't ready.
He got kicked out.
Well, straight up. What else do you call it?
Bouncers threw him out.
Well, I mean, he got kicked off the tournament. Kicked out, whatever the fuck it is. I'm still an immigrant.
I'm still an immigrant. So that sets up, which is actually a fun battle, Aktive versus the winner of Saynt and RX, which is Saynt. I am a huge fucking Saynt fan. A huge Saynt fan.
But look at RX would have had a clear body if she could have kept with her first round, right?
I like Saynt a lot.
No, I know. I'm not saying Saynt didn't win. I'm just saying if RX had if the momentum and the whatever had been the same in the second and third round as the first round, Saynt would not have won that.
You don't think so?
No.
I missed the whole shit.
Yeah. So... Krill didn't get here till right before the Thesaurus battle. I don't know. I was wondering too when they first announced the West, what's going to happen if those two meet each other? Because when Saynt battled B Magic, and it was when RX battled Myverse, I think it was the same night. If not, it was that same tournament. Time was too. Saynt was saying something. It was either in an interview or some sort of clip I saw somewhere that she was so like proud, and somebody had like a picture too, or maybe it was a video clip of her like looking on to Saynt like a proud older sister, and I was like, oh, so they have that kind of relationship. So I was wondering what was going to happen if they met each other, and KOTD not fucking around. It's like, okay, you guys like brother and sister, eh? Battle. That's that shit that you never see John Fitch and Josh Koscheck do back in the day.
Facts. But I mean, they both said that after the fact when they were just like kind of talking. But at the end of the day, I mean, look, I would say that was not obviously anywhere near the best battle of the night, but I would watch it again. I just wish that in a perfect world, RX didn't stumble so many times, and it happens. But if it hadn't happened, I do think that would have changed the trajectory of that battle.
Well, yeah, obviously somebody, I don't know, I haven't seen the thing, but if you don't stumble, it probably
gonna
make it look better.
No. Because look, Diz can stumble, Pat can stumble, Hollow can stumble, Ilmat can stumble. You can stumble and still have a big up on the battle. It depends on who you are. So I think that stumbling is obviously not a good thing, but I think that if we were talking about
in the second round and he got the fucking battle.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people, the majority are, I think majority of the judges gave the second round to him, and that's why he stumbled.
Well, right, but I'm saying that like if you have like an RX and a Bonnie Godiva, I think if they both stumble, it goes to RX. So you have to be concerned with, we talked about judging ad nauseum on the last show, right? So there's that. Like you have to like be concerned with that and take it into account. But I still feel like, and I don't know RX, like she's not my homie. I don't, whatever. But like I still felt like I was like, she just was better. And she choked a little bit. It wasn't a hard choke, but she did choke a little bit. But I just felt like, and on the other side of that coin, if you talk about him, it just wasn't Much like Aktive and Caustic, like it just wasn't a battle to write home about, really. So
yeah, compared to the other two battles,
or compared
obviously
to any
Frak's
other battle.
performance, but Saynt's performance was good. Out of the four of them, I like Saynt's performance the best. Like out of Saynt, RX, Caustic, and Aktive.
Okay. I mean, but look, let's be real. Saynt is out in the next round.
You think so? You think Aktive's gonna put him out?
I do.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to get some sort of wager going on this.
I'm just saying.
I can't believe I missed the fucking thing.
We'll watch it. We'll find it.
On a side note, I do want to say that the stream itself.
Yes, like, thank you. That's what I wanted to talk about. Fucking wow, came through really well.
Right?
Rush even said that people are saying it's not live because it's so perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no lagging, no glitching. The picture was great. The sound was great. Like I love that Lush finally like pulled in that laptop at the beginning and was like, "Okay, let me answer questions," because it really did seem too good to be true. I also was sitting here going, "Okay, y'all recorded this like 6 hours ago. Avocado can edit shit down at warp speed, and now you're playing it and we're chatting and like, nah, bro. Like that was pretty impressive." And part of that is KOTD's planning and Avocado and his team's work, plus Twitch's platform. And I'm not surprised because Twitch is such a giant online, but like, yo, every literal single time there was an announcement about a bracket or a coast, that shit glitched, that shit froze, that shit died. So like, why was this stream pristine when all of the rest of them were trash?
Maybe that was an actual event and they actually said, okay, let's give them 5 motherfuckers to take care of the stream, you know what I mean? Make sure this works. Yeah, because our name is still on the line. This is a fresh deal, right?
Avocado's living up to his fucking Twitter handle tonight.
Oh, well. Okay, so like to that end though, I wonder how Twitch feels with night one. Like I would love to have info.
I would love to compare the numbers of the Coachella, the fucking Caffeine and Twitch for the first event of KOTD and first event of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it was over 10,000. So it was over 10,000 individual views. It was over like 85, I think, thousand just clicks and streams. But like my question is like, does Twitch feel like night one was a success? Like, what did they expect? Like, did they think that 10,000 individual
they must have evaluated the company before they made some sort of a deal, right? So I hope they didn't expect millions of views.
Well, no, but like this is also kind of a different thing. Like they've always had live events that also stream online, but it hasn't been forcibly 100% online with the viewership, you know? So I feel like we're also in a time with COVID and all this other crap that's going on that like I feel like it might even be higher than it would normally be. And again, you have a Diz, you have all these people that do bring in views anyway. But you also have an entire couple continents of people.
It wasn't marketed enough, though. Do you think it was marketed enough? Because if I didn't know about this shit, if I didn't know about it because of you guys, I wouldn't know about it. You know what I mean? I haven't seen an ad on Facebook or I haven't seen no shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't think they put nothing into marketing. They gave him a steady platform to stream and they said, here you go, do what you do, right? That was just all that 10,000 views was straight KOTD shit. There was no Twitch involvement in that.
Yeah, but you got to think, right? If Twitch looked into it, like you said, researched KOTD and everything before they did the deal, they must think they can bring it to a higher platform.
But they haven't done nothing to do so, though. I don't feel their involvement. Do you?
What's that?
I don't feel their involvement except for a fucking awesome stream.
Yeah, but who knows how much they're gonna get involved? Who knows what they have planned to do?
Maybe they said, "Here, this is what you did. This is what we're gonna do." Right, and boom, the next one's gonna have like 500,000 views.
That'd be crazy,
right? Because they have the capability to do that.
It'd be crazy. I'd love to see KOTD and then it won't take much for 500,000 fucking views on a pay-per-view.
It won't take much for them to do that either, man.
I mean, it's the entertainment's there. The
watch them gonna do that to the South Division. Just boom, blow it up. It's like, well, you don't know these guys.
No shit.
I do want to ask to back up a few steps. Not in terms of the battle itself, but like just in terms of Caustic. do y'all agree or disagree that just as Caustic being Caustic, that was kind of a snooze? Like, he didn't seem like he was on his game. He didn't seem like he really wanted to be there and was doing his shit, right?
I already said my opinion on that. I think he was just there because he thought he was just going to breeze through.
Yeah, he's been away for a bit too. Wasn't he? I don't know if you can retire from battle rap. Like Shuffle T said, that's like saying you're retiring from doing crosswords, right? So, but I thought he was inactive. I've also read too that he started catching a lot of flack because he said a lot of fucked up shit over his career. So maybe tonight, where he wasn't saying as much fucked up shit, and he was trying to clean up his image, that went against him. Maybe it didn't feel as natural when he can't just say the most vulgar fucking shit imaginable. Who knows if that's what it was, or if he's just collecting a paycheck, if his gas tank's empty, if it was a bad performance.
Oh, you know what? Before we wrap, can we talk about like the 2 rules that we know that Twitch did instill?
What?
So
2 rules.
Yeah. So I think this was like big talk online, at least before today. They basically, from how we understand it, said, look, we get it. It's battle rap. Y'all are offensive. Say your shit. But
I know where you're going.
But no N-bombs, or if there are, no hard R's at the end of them. And no... How would you describe the other one, Jason?
The F word, but not that one.
No British cigarettes.
Yeah, no British cigarettes. There you go.
Right. So I genuinely I
is this a thing, or is this something you just heard?
No, this is a thing.
Because apparently I didn't see the press conference, but KOTD took it down.
They cut it off right quick.
Yeah, I guess someone called someone a fag. And from what I understand, it was Dizaster.
It is, yeah.
Called someone a fag, and KOTD took it down right away. And now I guess that's probably why Twitch is, installing some rules here, because
apparently that was the rule beforehand. That's why they took it down.
People don't even say that anyways. The top battlers don't say that anymore.
No, but so that's where I was going with this.
That'd be like if a black person called a white person Eminem. You know what I mean? There was a time where they called him B Rabbit. There was a time when that shit might get you a reaction. Now it'd just be like, really? That's what you're coming with?
Agreed, but this is why I tweeted what I tweeted earlier.
Anybody do anything though, right? It's like limiting comedy or some shit. Like they get too sensitive about comedy. Comics are bitching that they can't say things.
There's no need for it.
Right. Well, okay, look, they didn't go through like a comprehensive list of 30 things.
What's that, Amy?
I said they didn't go through a comprehensive list of 37,000 things you can't say. But my point was, without talking about like, ooh, free speech and censorship or whatever, here's the 2 points. One is that when KOTD decided to do a deal with Twitch, they had to have known or have found out throughout this process that Twitch has very, very specific terms of service, and they are very adherent to them, A. And B, I tweeted about this earlier, and I was mostly not joking, but it was kind of funny. I really thought the whole, like, not saying faggot thing would be a problem for Diz. And so, like, big props for him for opening up his entire first round with that, the F word. Like, haha, it was a good laugh. But, like, I really thought if Diz went all Diz, as he oftentimes does, that it wouldn't matter and that it would come out anyway and that it would be a problem. So good for him, I guess, for that not happening, because that was a rule. But, like, I was really on the edge of my seat going, Diz can't do that.
Yeah, I wondered about that too going in. He likes to use that word a lot. Fuck, speaking of N-bombs, he's even used that before in a battle, right? So you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. That's like when Caustic and Aktive got a little handsy there. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but for a split second, I was like, could you imagine fucking like in a room with like, 18 people? Because there's no audience, you know what I mean? It's not like there's a big crowd there where like, it's just, I don't know, that'd be like a fucking scrap in somebody's rec room. Like, fucking.
Caustic was pacing back and forth. I thought he was going to swing for a second there. Like, it's like he looked pretty upset because Buddy tapped his pockets and pushed him and shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
wait, speaking of scrapping, Okay, Frak Hoffa.
That was awesome too.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was like his moment of the night, but like that was memorable.
That was funny. All right. On that note, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow the Building Downtown at the Building DT. For Amy Barton, Kirill Kasatskiy, I'm Jason Kelly. We out. Peace out.
Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.